rock fans, or just fans of music, or just fans of the podcast. Welcome to a new episode of Musical People: A Journey, the new rock album review show, where we review all the latest rock albums rated out of 5, see if they get into our Hall of Fame, maybe into Album of the Year. And we're reviewing October albums, so we are now getting in. Well, actually, the September albums, and it's October. Today we are reviewing Icy Stars, The Wheel. Dun dun dun! Now, somebody he's here. The show must go on. Pete's been struggling all night, and he's seeing stars at this minute in time. Pete, what about this album? Did it show you the stars? Did you see stars here or not?
Not quite. No. I felt it was a pretty decent album. It gave me some. I don't know, 90s rock vibes, Zeros rock vibes, kind of reminded me a little bit of the Guano Waves, so I used to listen quite a bit. But yeah, again, this is the theme for today. Maybe it's because I'm comparing all the albums of this month with the best album of this month, which is Northern Shore. So everybody is just like, not hard enough. Same as this band. Like, there's a couple of growls in there, but even a growl or two cannot save this album from mediocrity, I feel. So I'm very much lukewarm about this album. And I want to go back to bed because I'm sick.
Well, now, somebody who's definitely not mediocre. This lady is far from mediocre, apart from when she doesn't unmute herself. It's Trish!
This band I'd not heard of before or listened to, and I have to say I was really liking what I'm hearing in this electronic hardcore genre. Very clever opening with Spin It, which is exactly what you are listening to, a wheel spinning, which then immediately blends into the next track, The Wheel. I drew similarities to Wargasm and Hot Milk, but that's just my listening ears. I loved the collab with Palais Royal on Lost It, probably the standout track. Clever ending as it began, with the last track fading out, bringing a close to the album. Whenever you put this album on, there'll be something for everyone to listen to, which truly is a gift. And this is one wheel I don't mind spinning often.
Ooh. Now, we always see stars with this angel. Here she is. It's Lauren.
Yeah, so I hadn't heard of these guys before. Was really surprised then when I was like doing my little bit of research into them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they've been around since 2006," and I was like, "Oh, well, okay then, that sort of doesn't make sense because that's right slap bang into when I started getting into sort of like rockier music and that sort of stuff." But it could have just been because I was a child of Kerrang TV, so I had a lot of that sort of stuff put forward rather than these guys. Overall, I thought it was very much like had the hints of screamo, heavy electronica focus with sprinkles of like, there were some of the vocals almost had like that Beastie Boys sound where it had like that that sort of sound in it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, this is a little bit familiar of what I'm used to listening to. It's one of those things where, having listened to it and paired with the research, seeing where some of the members have come from to be in Icy Stars, like for example you've got Danny Worsnop, who was from Asking Alexandria, you've got Cassidy Pope, who was from Hey Monday, stuff like that. I would have thought that this would have been better, to be brutally honest. I still really enjoyed it, but I feel like there's some great parts in there, and the sum of the album didn't quite meet that. Yeah, overall just sort of whelmed with a little dash of nostalgia thrown in there. So yeah, it was okay. I may sort of glance back into it if it sort of like comes through my mix, but it's not something where with other albums this month I'm going, I want to listen to some music, I'm going to listen to that.
Somebody we always want to listen to, it's Simon. Simon, now, did you see some stars here? Did the wheel turn for you?
spinning wheel. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say right off the bat, pointless intro. 30 seconds long, does nothing for it. The second track then also has a 30-second intro to it, and it's only a 2-minute track. What was the point?
Just the way the wheel turned. The way the wheel turned.
A minute of intro to get a minute and a half of song was ridiculous. But just to prove my point, when you see it later, it doesn't affect my score. It just annoys me. No, but genuinely though, listen to this. I really love this. It's really cool. It's got that proper like grungy vibe, unlike the other. What was the other one? The Fleshwater we listened to earlier this month. I really loved this style. I thought it was fantastic, and it's just really like, I don't know. It's really fun. It's really good to listen to. That kind of music you just put on in the background and vibe to, sort of thing. Like, it's really fun. I like what they're doing. Minor gripes with the album were it's like 14 tracks, and some of the tracks are like quite short, which is a shame because it'd be fun to listen to more of what they do. But other than that, yeah, I really love that sound. My fiance pointed out when we listened to them, she's impressed that the bass player was using jazz strings, and I had no idea. But apparently that's what makes it sound kind of cool. So there you go. I learnt something as well.
Now, somebody who is very cool, he might not have jazz strings, but he's cool anyway. It's William.
Hi.
Hi.
I wonder if that explains why I didn't like this album, because I utterly despise jazz. And if there's secret jazz in this album, that'd be why I didn't enjoy it.
Secret jazz.
Awful genre. Again, something.
That surprises me though, Will, because with jazz you can't make sense of it, and it's the same with things like Lorna Shore. You just can't make sense of it.
With deathcore is the music works together, and it's not just
there's structure there.
Playing instruments at each other, making no noise and no sense at all.
Okay.
Stupid genre.
I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Much like this album, which I'd like to throw in the bin. It's the same as the first one reviewed with that. Like, it's the way the vocals are like produced at the end of it. Like, they're not cleanly produced. They have that weird distant sound to it. I found it really hard to get into and really hard to actually focus and listen to the lyrics because they're so like distorted and weird. It just doesn't gel well with me at all. It really upsets my head hearing it and the way it doesn't sit right. Instrumentally, it's pretty cool. It's fine. Nice music, nice backing tracks. It's just, again, the vocals just switched me off this album so much, and I couldn't get that out of my head. Yeah.
Okay. So this is one of those albums where, as an album in entirety, it's a bit, it's all right. And then you'll pick out a few tracks which are just brilliant. So for me, Are We Even and Anonymy were just fantastic. I made my cool playlist. But as an album, it was a bit hit and miss for me. Slightly more hit than miss. It was okay. One of those albums where you didn't love it, or not one that I really liked and didn't love it. I just liked it and didn't love it. I think it's probably the best way of describing that. But there's some cool tracks in there. There's some cool stuff in there. But I think the mixture for me was a little bit. There was some more miss in there as well. So, but yeah. So I didn't see stars, and the wheel was a bit bumpy. But what do you guys think now? Let's find out, shall we? Let's get to vote time. Will it get into our Hall of Fame and therefore potentially into our Album of the Year show? Let's find out then, shall we? Pete, let's start with you then.
2.5.
A theme coming on here, isn't it? Trish?
5.
Wow. Wowzers. Okay. Lauren?
Average with a dose of nostalgia, 3 from me.
Simon?
I gave it a good old 4.
Pretty solid stuff. William?
1.5. It wronged me.
It wronged you. A 3.5 from me on that score. So, William, we're going to kiss goodbye to your 1.5, which gives it an average of 3.6. Gets in our top 80 albums of the year. Not quite into our Hall of Fame, I'm afraid. So we will consign that to a really good, solid album overall. I think is probably the phrase on that one. And we'll see what they come back with again in the future. But do you guys out there listening? Do you agree? Disagree? Hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, keep safe, keep rocking. Goodbye.